What's up? This is Vanessa Satten, editor-in-chief at XXL. I'm here at Google NYC today with Absol. Today's the release of his third studio album, These Days, and he's sharing us with sharing with us some information about the album today. So, Ab, first tell us, how do you feel about the album coming out today, and a little bit about your first feelings on the project in the day and what you think the success is going to be.
Man, it's great. I feel amazing, and I feel even more amazing to be talking to you about it. You feel what you know how I feel about Double XL in general. You know how much I use Google. You feel what I'm saying? So
You're a tough one, I know.
this is amazing. This is simply amazing. I hope I look good.
So what do you have planned today? You running around. Today's the big day. Have you been looking forward to this day for a
Yeah,
minute? What's been the general response you've gotten?
man. It seems like it's all love. I really want to as soon as I finish running around and answering these good questions and stuff, I'm gonna take some time out and just really just sit back and acknowledge the feedback. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it seems great. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good, Vanessa?
I
My
can hear
fault.
you better now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, everything is great. I want to take some more time to definitely acknowledge the fans and acknowledge the support. But for the most part, I've been hearing, I've been getting nothing but thumbs up for sure.
Well, Google Hangout's the best way for you to connect with your fans. So I'm going to ask you a few more questions about the album a little bit, stuff I know that you got going on, and then we're going to talk directly to the fans and see some of the questions they have. So
Cool.
tell us a little bit about the name These Days. How did you come up with that title? What does it mean?
I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's definitely self-explanatory, and I just wanted to do something that wouldn't sound too, complex coming off of a control system. You know what I mean? I know that was a real uh, conceptual type of album, so I wanted to, a title and an album that just, didn't feel like a science project more so. It just felt like a great album. But these days, since I feel like that's a term that we use a lot just to describe the present. You feel what I'm saying? And in contrast to the past. So that's pretty much all it's about.
So on the album, you got your TDE family. You also got some guest appearances. Can you give us a run through of who appears on the project and kind of how you picked them for the album?
Yeah, well, I always got to have all of my homies, man. Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, J Rock, Isaiah Rashad on there. SZA helped me out on there. Um, that's a no-brainer. Those are my guys. I'm definitely big fans of them as well. I did some work with Lupe on there. He introduced me to Nicki Jean. I got Rick Ross on there. I got Danny Brown on there. I even got Delusional Thomas on there. I don't even know how I pulled that off, but I got Delusional Thomas rapping on the album. It's a great album. It's a great album.
How does it differ from control systems? How do you compare the two?
Uh, More than anything, the quality, the sound quality. You got to think, like, I didn't, before Control System came out, I didn't get to listen to it like on Beats by Dre products. You feel what I'm saying? You got to turn the volume up a bit. You know what I mean? Have some, I need that smack. And Ali's recorded quite a few great albums since then. So he's got, he had a lot of great tricks up his sleeve for this one too. So we just really stepped it up with the sound quality for sure, for the most part.
So what do you do? How long does it take you to record this album? There's a big break between the two. So what's the recording process like, and what do you do when you're not recording it?
Well, I mean, this, I'm kind of consumed by this. If I wasn't working on this, I was working on, some other stuff with some other artists. And, I had, I turned in 2 projects at the top of the year. So like this album in general probably took me about a little over a year to complete. When I turned it in at the top of the year, we all agreed that I should probably just go back in. It sounded great already. I should just expound on it and make it a little bit more concrete. So it just took me about like a year, like a little over a year and some change.
So what's the process? You turn the album in, you've got your first version of it, and then what happens from there?
Yeah, I turn it into the guys upstairs. You feel what I'm saying? And then they send down the response from the heavens, and we get the green light or the red one. So this one, when I turned it in the first time, I got like a yellow light. You know what I mean? It was like,
Which means you got to change certain things, you got to tweak things. What?
we need a little more. We need a little bit more. You feel me? We need some more concrete gold. You feel me?
What are your favorite songs from the album?
Um,
Hard to pick because you love all of them. Are there any that hit more than others for you?
of course, of course. I think Just Have Fun is probably my favorite song on that album, to be honest, so far. But I you know I wanted to I took some time off. I didn't want to like um get tired of the album before it dropped, so I took some time off from it. I'll probably revisit it and see which ones are the ones that stand out the most to me though. But I think Just Have Fun is probably my favorite song on the album.
Gotcha. So I'm going to ask you some questions from some of the viewers. So we've got Red Wonder wants to know why don't you do more interviews? When will you do more interviews? Because you got a lot of fans and you don't seem to realize that. He thinks. What would you say to that?
Word. I mean, hey, they lining them up for me right now. They should be coming out. I've been doing quite a bit the last few weeks, so they should be rolling out on you. You know, not to mention this great one right here. You feel me? This is tight. I'm in the Google building. If y'all didn't know, like for real, Google. It's crazy. You've never been here. Crazy.
Have you performed a lot of the songs from the album yet? Have you done a lot of shows? What's the promo run been like for you? And how many more shows do you have coming up?
I haven't performed these songs a lot. Like I did, I've performed 100 Stacks, Stigmata, Tree of Life. I ran Dub Sack too. We dropped those earlier this year. But we've been slowing down on the shows per se just to promote the album. I'm sure they're working on a tour for me right now. So stay tuned for that information as well.
So you've got how would you describe this album in the hip hop landscape right now with everything that's going on? You think it sticks out as something different? You think it fits in the theme of what's going on with, the voice of hip hop? How do you think it lines up to kind of, we're at July 1st almost, we're at the halfway point for 2014. Where do you stack up and how do you compare it to some of the other releases this year?
Man, I think it should stand toe to toe with just about anything that drops this year. You know, I'm not, I'm not gonna say, that I'm not gonna say that I don't want to be, number one or the best artist, but all of that is cool. More so, we just want to have some good music to give to the people, man. We want everybody to feel good. We want everybody to have fun. You feel what I'm saying?
What's the studio experience like for TDE? You guys recording together? The records you have with Kendrick and Schoolboy, are that stuff like you? Is that stuff that you guys are recording in the studio together? Do you have those sessions and those powwows? What's that like?
We actually had to do those songs via internet just due to the crazy, everybody's scattered around in different spots. I did me and J Rock actually got in for filling us. I was able to catch J Rock in the studio, but the other homies, they're on tour, they're out on the road promoting their albums as well. So
is there a TDE studio that you guys are mostly at that's like a home base for Top Dog, or is that something that people can picture, like a place where you guys all come together to make music and then go in your shifts, or what's that like?
Well, yeah, there's an original House of Pain in Carson. There's original Top Dog headquarters in Carson, but we've just kind of expounded. We're looking for bigger ground, waiting for Top to get that big compound so we can, have my own personal space,
All right, so you've got some collabos on the album. We've got a question coming from Jackson Dinsmore, who wants to know, will you ever work with Chance the Rapper again, and have you considered working with Childish Gambino?
Absolutely, those are my guys. I just did like this private show with Gambino not too long ago. He invited me down, and I just seen Chance at some festival I just played in Minneapolis. And those are both my brothers. I'm sure we'll all get in very soon.
Who are some other people you'd like to work with that you haven't gotten the chance yet? Maybe you wanted them on this album, but you didn't get the opportunity?
Man, I'm trying to hunt Jay Electronica down, man. I'm hunting.
You and everybody else.
Man, I'm saying I'm hunting him down. I can't even get him on the line. He only want to text message me.
You and everybody else.
I don't know if I'm talking to him for real. You know what I mean? I don't even know. It might not even be him. It might be a counterpart.
Every time I talk to somebody, they have a different email address from them and a little
Oh,
experience about talking to them one time.
it's crazy. It's
You're just another.
so crazy. But I mean, yeah, you gotta respect the mystery in him. Shout out to the black god. That's probably the only person that I was probably like really like trying to get that I couldn't reach for whatever reason.
We got another question from Jermaine Maxwell. Says, "What is the meaning behind closure? I feel like it's about your music and not necessarily about a past relationship with a girl."
That,
How would
that,
you answer that?
no, that
Maybe
that's
you're
a
saying
true
you keep your rapping about the same things these days.
no, that's a true story.
True story.
That was closure on the situation.
How'd you put it together? You want to walk through putting it together?
I mean, well, uh, the type, when you if you're in a relationship with someone and you decide to end the relationship, it's probably best that you have some sort of closure on the subject. It's probably not best that you just walk away and not say nothing. So that's probably the best like the best way I could put that. That was closure on a situation.
Is it hard as an artist, as a celebrity, to be open about those type of things in your life when you get questions like this? So it's a personal story, it's a personal issue, but you wind up sharing it with the public through the music. How does that play out for you? And is it hard for you, or is it therapeutic?
I mean, it's both. It's a little bit of both. Some of these things, you hear certain things that you just probably did wish you didn't hear or whatever, but it did happen. This is real life, and getting these things off my chest are very therapeutic. I feel like it's a great way of getting it off your chest and not keeping it boiled up inside of you.
All right, we're going back to the questions for some fans, and you seem to have a lot of them today, but it's a big day. So Maurice Devontae Brown wants to know, did you want to go more mainstream with this album, being that you are an employee of TDE first? And did you want to make more money by going mainstream? Was that something that the goal was, or you got enough money?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm very confused as to what mainstream is exactly. I'm
Well,
very,
what do you
very.
think it is? What do you think? What's your basic idea of what it is?
I mean, because if we're talking about like songs on the radio, I still don't have any songs on the radio, so uh, I don't think I'm probably not mainstream yet. I do want to make some more money though. Who don't want to make some more?
Would you like to be on radio, or would you like to be an artist that has more of a cult following through tapes, through music, through albums, or a radio hits your goal? Because there's plenty of artists who are living without them.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, that's great. That'd be excellent. Of course, I want to hear my songs on the radio. Of course, that'd be great. But I mean, more so, like I told you, it's more importantly to me. All of these great people seem to have access to it. That works for me. You know what I mean? But I'm sure I'll be blessing the radio very soon. I'm sure.
Okay, from Maricarmen Marquez, you're an inspiration, but who's your inspiration and who are your role models? Be honest.
I have a lot.
Don't just say top dog. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I have a lot. I think my idols are like Jesus and Jay-Z. I think I said that before. Those are like great guys. Michael Jackson too. Great guy.
Jesus, Jay-Z, and Michael Jackson are the idols.
Yeah, for real.
Just want to make sure.
Those are great figures. Like excellent figures. Word.
Okay. Anyone else inspire you? Any ladies?
This beautiful lady right here.
Okay. You only got half her face.
Daddies.
All right. From Matthew Stranzel, are you releasing any leftovers from the album? Any outtakes? Will there be this didn't make the cut, extra tape or anything?
Possibly, for sure. Possibly.
How much do you have left? How much did you record? How much do you have left?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I don't, I'm not. I don't want y'all to think like I got like, I don't record like that. I don't have like 200 songs recorded that, you know what I'm saying, to choose from. I don't record like that. But like, I'm sure there's like, 3 or 4 joints that, didn't make the cut that might follow up on my next joint, or I might have other plans for them for sure. But I don't want nobody to think I got, you know what I mean? I don't have like
Tons of music sitting around.
3,000 songs, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait to drop this triple album.
You think you got tons of songs everywhere on some Tupac, and
Right,
it's recorded
yeah,
everywhere, and you just don't even know where it is anymore.
yeah, I'm not on my pot. Not exactly.
No? All right, so let's see. Eduardo Leon wants to know, do you plan to or want to eventually sign to a major label like Schoolboy and Kendrick did? So will we see you at Interscope one day? Will we see you pop somewhere else? Or you like the indie route?
I mean, that's all up to the guys upstairs. You feel me? The boss dog. You know, I'm privileged to be in a position where I could just focus on my art form. I don't have to worry about these type of things, independent, major. I'm really like those terms sound like mainstream to me. Like these sounds like just terms we just throwing around. I mean,
We don't even know
everybody
what mainstream really is.
like we all want to do it major. Like who don't want to do it major? I don't want to do it minor. But I mean, if I don't think I have to be signed to a major label to do it major. So these things just I think just cool words we just be throwing around. You know.
So it's not something really that you think about or that you're stressed out about. You just want to put music out.
Nah. And you gotta think too, like if Kendrick is signed to Aftermath Interscope, if Q is signed to Interscope, these my brothers, then I'm signed to Aftermath Interscope too.
I'll go with that logic. Okay.
Word.
All right. So I like Patty T's question here. She says, when I hear the name Solo, I think its meaning is Spanish solo, which means also alone. What's your true meaning of solo, and why did you come up with that name?
It's just it was a name that derives from Ab, so I don't know. I really don't know.
Why is the dash so important?
The dash is important because I added that because the whole for sure. I needed the dash like Jay-Z. It just was the full circle. You know what I mean? It just looks so. I hate it spelled without the dash. It has to have the dash. And I'm
I've
very
heard that
glad
name.
that Jay-Z took the dash out of his name too.
So you're not going to take the dash out?
No, hell no. Hell no. Don't
You're not.
forget the dash, man. For real.
Randy Marsh wants to know, who are your top five rappers, dead or alive? And he loves the album.
That's hard, man. That's very difficult. I'll probably take Jay, Nas, M, Lupe, and who else? I don't know. I'll probably take Kendrick now. You probably about there. You're probably about there now.
Good list. Melissa Meha, I don't know if I'm saying it right. I hope I am. How many pairs of sunglasses do you have?
A lot. I break them a lot though, often too though. So I got probably like more like pieces of glasses than I have.
A whole bunch of pieces of glasses.
Yeah, all kind of frames, like just But yeah, I have a very very cool collection of shades for sure.
Got you. It's a style thing. All right. Connor Karan wants to know, how many of the tracks for the album were actually made in the studio with the producer?
Well, I mean,
I guess you guys working together with one.
yeah, I recorded most of the album alone at Mac Miller's house. What is that? It's cool.
Mac Miller's a TDE family member, right?
Right, right. Mac Miller's a part of the team for sure. Shout out to the whole Most Dope as well. But like yeah, like rarely do I like have the producer actually there on site. What I will say is like what I would like to do if I can like get them in and get their input on the record as far as the arrangement of the record. But I mean, I really kind of do everything myself, hands on.
Why? Why are you a loner? Why do you want to work most of it by yourself?
Well, I mean, I won't say that like I'm actually alone in the studio. That's not what I mean.
Okay.
I'm just usually the grand composer of all of my music for whatever however that happens. I'm always open for suggestion, but I always just usually end up composing and arranging the whole joint.
This is from Priyanka Mundra. She says, I absolutely love Empathy on Control System. Any plans to bring back collabos with our Lori Joe? I can't read everything today.
No, it's cool. I think I have some some unreleased files from her in the cut, and I'm sure that we would use them creatively for sure when the time is right. Absolutely.
Okay. How do you determine the timing and when it's right for you to start working on a new project or a part two or a part three? How do you know what your next project's going to be? And how much space will you give this album before you jump into something new?
You know, that kind of just kind of happens naturally more than it's like a set. And I guess maybe that might be one of the benefits of not being signed to a major label. Maybe, you know, I don't have these same type of hard deadlines or, you know, things like that. Maybe that's a benefit of that.
Your
But
more flexibility helps you out, right?
maybe, yeah, I probably have a lot more. I'm probably a lot more flexible in that, right, in that respect. But you know, however it comes about, you know, however it comes about, I try to make it as natural as possible.
Right. So I just lost it. I had a pretty cool question from Ilion, and I lost it. So if it comes back up, I will let you know. But Chris Britton asks, personally, do you feel Top Dog as a label is sleeping on J Rock ever? Or do you think the industry's sleeping on J Rock and he doesn't get enough credit sometimes?
I, 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 J Rock is the first artist of TDE. He's the big homie of he's the foundation of the company. Sleeping on him, I don't. That's my big homie. You feel what I'm saying? I kind of got to report to him in the same fashion. You feel me? So he's also uh, rounding up his album right now as well. So be on the lookout for that.
You're hearing more and more people talk about that project and it coming
Yeah,
up too
yeah, for
from all
sure.
of you guys. And then you just had Schoolboy Project. We're
Yeah,
coming on probably another Kendrick project.
yeah.
We've
You
also
just
waited for a Black Hippie project. We don't know if that's real or not. So
right,
there's a lot coming down
yeah,
the pipe for you guys.
right. Yeah, you just got to think like Rock was like, you know, kind of like our first try. He was our first example of how the industry works, how labels work. You know what their requirements are, what they're going to be looking for, how they move, these type of things. So, you know, that's how important Rock is to our whole function. He was our, you know, he took. I went out. My first time going out on tour was hype man for J Rock.
Right.
You got to remember that. You know what I'm saying?
That's how a lot of you guys got your start. Kendrick too.
Right.
All you guys,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
do that hype man and experience the stage
Yeah.
there first on with the other guy, right?
Exactly. Like my first TDE appearance was on J Rock's mixtape, Watts Finest, volume was 2 or 3. You remember that? Two? Yeah, volume Watts Finest volume 2. Check that out. That was my first TDE appearance. So, you know, I have no choice but to thank J Rock. You know what I mean?
So Marcelo Cervantes wants to know: are you coming to San Antonio, Texas, anytime soon? I love
Absolutely,
you in San
partner.
Antonio. They want to see you out there.
Be right on down there to San Antonio, Texas. Guarantee it.
All right. Tony Johnson wants to know: are there any female rappers or singers that you'd like to work with in the future that you haven't?
Oh yeah, Doja Cat. She's sick. I get so high. I get. Yeah, she's. I gotta find her. So y'all tell Doja Cat to hit me up. Tell her to hit me.
We
I gotta find her. She's crazy. I also like, you know, Rhapsody is my homegirl too. Ninth Wonders artist. She's super sick. Shout out to Nitty Scott. Um, yeah, I mean, I think yeah, that's about it. So that's all I can think of right now.
So, all right, Butterfly Legacy wants to know: do you have any plans for your? Do you have a plan for your career and where you want it to go, or are you just playing it by ear?
Repeat. Could you repeat that for me? I'm sorry.
Okay, so Butterfly Legacy,
Uh,
my other name, wants to know: do you have a plan for your career and where you want to go, or are you just playing it by ear?
Long-term is my series. Long term. You feel me?
Good answer.
I'll
So,
be
when will
here.
we see another long-term project?
I will be here for the long term. Long term 3 will be the lifestyles of the rich and famous. So when you hear or know that I'm rich and famous, by definition, that's when you'll get long term 3.
Okay. Okay, we'll wait for that.
All right.
Jacob Lewis wants to know: do you think Kendrick's next album will be better than Good Kid, Mad City? Not your project, but it's your brother's project, and there's a lot of pressure there. So I know, being close to the camp, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
How do you think Kendrick's prepping for that, and what the fans could see from that project?
Oh, well, you know, I've heard a couple records and it sounds crazy so far, but you know, I kind of want to hear his album, his next album, like how everybody else hears it. Like as a fan, I don't want to kind of be behind the scenes too much with it. And I mean, I think you know he's a very innovative you know, he takes a lot of risks in, you know, trying to change the dynamic with things. So I mean, you're gonna expect that. You're gonna want to expect that from him all of the time. He's always gonna probably, you know, he's gonna come out the woodwork with something crazy. You know what I mean? For sure.
All right, so Jackson Dinsmore wants to know, says, I know a lot of rappers want more than just to rap. Do you have any plans to do more than just rapping? You want to act? You want to have your own artists? You want to get into running a label? You want to get into acting or something totally different?
I'm just a humanitarian. You know what I'm saying? Philanthropist. Philanthropist. That's it.
So we're gonna do volunteer work?
Philanthropist.
Philanthropist.
Yeah. You know, that type of thing. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that, like positive, innovative things like that along those lines.
What's something that you'd like to do in the philanthropy lane that would be a cool thing one day that you haven't seen happen? Something in hip hop, bigger than that. What do you care about? What's your issue?
I mean, you know, I kind of want to I want to introduce some more things. I kind of like, you know, for example, like I think it should, like, all kids like in like elementary school should learn how to plant seeds. Like, should know how to plant
To grow
vegetables.
life.
You feel what I'm saying? They should know how to do that early, like as a child. So I'm gonna be pushing for things like that. Just little, we're gonna try to, you know, just evolve a bit. You know,
Do you think that's important for rappers to do?
that's important for people to do,
For
not just
people.
rappers. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you have a voice, if you are a rapper, you know, and you know, I have a little brother. Like, he's listening to me. I'm a role model. I have to take responsibility for the things I do and say if I choose to. You know what I'm saying? I'm at Google right now. I gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Real
You're a role
talk.
model for your
You
little
know,
brother.
I want to spark a joint right now. You know what I'm saying? You
I
know, I
know,
want
but
to
you
do that.
can't. You
Can't do
can't.
that.
You got to be
Can't.
a role model right now.
Exactly. You feel me?
So you're a role model not just for your little brother, but for people listening today, for people buying the album, for people, who are a fan of yours. Is that pressure, and is that something you ever saw that would happen?
I mean, well, no, pressure is just not a word that I use.
Okay.
Pressure is not a word that I use. And you got to remember, I graduated in '05, Carson High, voted most likely to become a star. You know what I mean? I'm doing exactly what I've been doing. You feel me?
So next year's the 10-year anniversary. Are you going to go back?
Hell yeah. You know that.
Okay. That'll be a fun high school reunion.
No bodyguard coming through.
All right. Let's see. Priyanka's asking a lot of questions there. Let's go to Ramsey Hernandez. How do you feel your lyricism has changed over the years? Have you gotten better? Have you gotten more intricate? How do you think your style, your flow, and more to the point, your lyricism has grown?
That's a real narrow question, my man, but you know.
Listen, take it up with Ramsey over here.
That's a real narrow question, Ramsey. But I try to learn something new every day then. So, you know, I've learned, it's been a lot of days since you've seen me last time. So, you know, I'm sure I could probably throw in a few more gems for you, a few more words for you, you know.
That was kind of like an interesting short
Right. Like,
answer, but okay.
are you more of a lyricist now than you were yesterday?
All right, so let's scroll up a little. Marcel, I was looking for Marcel. Marcel wants to know, Marcel Buchanan wants to know, does Black Hippie have the power to make detox possible?
The Black Hippie has the power to do all things. But no, that was just some cool shit that I had thought would be tight. Um, but you know, trust that we are working on it. You know, there are conversations being made about it, negotiation about it. So just stay tuned for sure.
How has the introduction of SZA and Isaiah Rashad been to TDE, and what's it been like for you to work with them?
Oh man, they're great. They're great. I think they complement us very well. You know what I mean? No, that's my little brother, my little sister. You feel what I'm saying? I think they complement us very, very well. I think they have the same, you know, goals and aspirations as us as a company. So, you know.
See, so the team is getting bigger and bigger, so it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, yeah, growth. growth, development. You either gonna build or destroy.
So what part do you play in that?
Uh, I
The
probably do.
building?
I probably do a little both myself. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about that.
So what happens next with this album? You're going to promote it for the next couple weeks, and then how long before you move on and you get into something else, whether it be rapping or a different project just in general that you're working on? What's next?
Well, you know, I'm gonna push this one as far as I could take it. You know, I'm gonna hit the road with it. I'm gonna try to take it around the globe and spread the good word. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't have any, you know, I don't have a date marked of when I'm gonna start working on my next album. No, I don't.
What's the California hip hop scene? Cali, Los Angeles, the California hip hop scene's been growing more and more. There's a lot more artists coming out from there. Do you feel more of a scene there? Does it feel like that California is, you know, more prevalent and more important to hip hop than it's been in the past few years, or what does it feel like out there for the artists, your competitors, and your cohorts? You know.
No, absolutely, absolutely. You know, and you know, our whole thing too, in general, just you know, my team in general, you know, we try to make this a worldly thing. We don't want to make it a coastal, you know, California thing, LA thing. We want to make it a worldly thing, but you know, you can't knock the fact that, you know, California or the West Coast is making a lot of noise right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to YG, just put out a great album. You know, I'm gonna mention the homies. You know, Nipsey Hussle, Dom Kennedy. Um, I just heard Pac Div got a new record on the radio. I just heard, you know what I'm saying? I got Light produced on my album as well. So I mean, it's just man, it's a function. It seems to be a function. You know, it feels great. It feels great to be from the West Coast today. So,
So Marcelo Cervantes is back again. Asked the question, Ab, how do you feel about the whole Chicago music? Excuse me, the Chicago music movement, and just the movement to get Chi-Town to put their guns down and to stop the violence out there? It's definitely, we're hearing about it more in hip hop lately. You've got Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa being vocal. Russell Simmons has been. You know, you're not from there, but definitely it's something in hip hop. So what are your thoughts?
I
Since you're a
mean,
philanthropist.
yeah, right, exactly. I'm all for the greater. I'm all for the greater good. You know what I mean? I do firmly believe that, you know, guns don't kill people. People do. I do believe that. You know, first and foremost. But you know, we're all aware of, you know, the you know the crime rate in Chicago. You know, Chirac is what they call. It's the nickname. They're calling it Chirac. You know what I mean? So anything to promote peace and positivity over that way I would be all for it. You know what I mean?
So with this project, what's success for you on this album? What would mean that you've achieved your goal for this project? What would you like to see or need to see?
I really just want to go. I want to go overseas. I haven't been overseas yet. Surprisingly, I went to like I've been to Canada and I went to like Amsterdam, but I haven't really been overseas to perform. I would really like to go, you know, and tour the rest of the world, if you will.
Do the European run, see all the get to the fans out there that haven't really gotten to see you perform yet.
Exactly. Go back to Germany. You know what I mean? As an adult, you feel me? Go to Australia. Go to Africa. Go to the motherland. You know, I want to go tour the world for sure. I got to go to Israel. You know what I'm saying? Trying
Yeah.
to get to Jerusalem. You know what I mean? I got to go to Jerusalem.
All right, so we're just about up on time here. Anything you want to say about the album besides to tell people to go out and get it? What do you want to do to plug it and let people know how good it is
Man, first and foremost, I
these days?
appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, man. These Days is out now on iTunes, Top Dog Entertainment, Absol, the beautiful Vanessa, XXL Magazine, Google.
I'll bet Google helping us with this whole thing today,
Yeah, real
bringing
talk.
you to the fans live directly.
Word, exactly. Shout out my assistant, Yara Sanchez. She's been helping me out. You know what I mean? And it's just a top dog party, man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I am the Black Lit Pastor.
Thank you.
Thank you.